To fix that, take from the table.
Okay, take from the table. What is
Second motion.
All right, the motion is properly first and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your worship, I'll excuse myself from the table as a conflict of interest.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Yep.
Any discussion on the motion? So this is just to
Yeah. but we want to
take it from the
discuss it.
table. So, ready? I'm ready to hear the question.
Question.
Question being called. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? I declare the motion passed. So, it is now in front of you for discussion. That would be a good idea.
Mr. Morrison, the Director of Planning, has distributed a memorandum to Mayor and Council dated the 5th of July, and in that he has set out a proposed series of steps to be taken to deal with the discussion that took place at the last council meeting. And that focuses on the initiative that council had taken to suggest or to identify 4 particular areas of concern arising from that discussion. And as a result of that initiative, identifying those areas, the developer has proposed changes to the development agreement, and Mr. Morrison has included his comments on those changes. So in order to deal with what the developer is now presenting as a proposed development agreement, it is open to council to propose a motion to amend the development agreement that is currently on the floor, and that will give council the opportunity to consider those proposed changes.
Are there any questions? Are there any questions to our solicitor? And so, and everybody's had a chance to read everything as reported. Would people like to hear from Mr. Morrison? Are you satisfied with what you read? Okay. Mr. Morrison, was there anything you really wanted to say to us?
No, it's all in the memo in terms of the changes proposed, and that's what the memo covers.
Okay, thank you very much. So, since we've put it back on the table, just to clarify, do we need now to make any further motion, or is it now ready just to discuss?
What is before council on the table is the development agreement that was presented at the January 18th meeting.
June.
Sorry, June 18th
It was
meeting.
much warmer than January.
But since, as a result of that meeting, 4 areas of particular interest were identified, and Mr. Morrison's memo includes a revised draft development agreement,
Right.
which I think is proposal number 3, the sequence that council has been considering. And on the second page of Mr. Morrison's memo, there is suggested wording for an amendment that could be proposed to the development agreement that is currently before council, now on the table for discussion. Sort of off the table, but before council for discussion.
So that's what we would be looking for at this particular point in time. Is there someone prepared to make that motion?
I am.
Okay, would you like to read it, please?
Okay, I'm right here. That resolution number 04-06B-13 be amended to reference the development proposal with changes as outlined in the July 5th, 2013 memo from the Director of Planning.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I guess is it time for general comments too?
It sure is.
Okay. So I wrote down some notes as I went through the package and thinking about the history that we've had with 336 Main and with the developer. I think we've been tough with this developer. And I also know that the process has been tough on the developer, it's been tough on the public, and it's been tough on the committee, the Community Development Committee, and on council. I know we really wrestled with this. But I'm glad we're still talking. and I'm really appreciative of the role that staff has taken in keeping us still talking, and also the legal advice that we've received, and all the submissions from the public. I still love this concept, and at this point, I'm willing to live with the minor objections that I may have to see the site improved from a derelict building to something new and interesting. I know I'm not going to get all I want, and I'm willing to say, okay, I've gone pretty far and probably further than the developer would like to. I would prefer it if at the end of this process we're all happy, and I'm looking in future for future developments to get to that point. This is a unique building, and there was an article in the Grapevine that I read recently with the Oprah Medicine Show music group leader, where he said when you wake up in Wolfville, you know you're in a unique place. You're not looking at huge parking lots with strip malls, anonymous. I mean, Wolfville is a unique place, and I think this building is going to contribute to that. And as fuel prices continue to climb, we're going to be glad that we approved this development with compact, easy to heat living spaces, close to downtown amenities. It's not something that's being offered right now by anybody else. And then there were 4 things that were added recently. The green roof has been increased in size, I think 3 times, is that correct?
Approximately.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to bring the picture up, it might be appropriate right now. Is it on that report?
It's
Yes.
I think it's at the end.
Okay. That's good for water conservation and for cleaner water will run off the building now. I had a question whether residents will be able to walk on it. And may I ask that, Director Morrison,
Sure.
do you know?
certainly there's a portion that's shown near the staircase that will definitely be able to be walked on. Not sure about the rest of it. We do allow that up to 50% of the green roof could be walkways and that sort of thing. So there would be opportunities to make more of it accessible than what shows in this plan.
Thank you. That's kind of a win-win for me, because if residents are allowed to use it, it's a resident amenity. It's large. And if not, from what I've read about green roofs, the birds will nest on it. That's pretty nice. I like that. I like the second thing was an increase in commercial space that was asked for, and I appreciate the developer coming up. We certainly need more and very commercial space. The size of the balconies has been increased. I was in Halifax on Saturday looking at Bishop's Landing and saying, wow, those are great little balconies, and they're slightly larger than those balconies, so that was a great comparison. And finally, the common room, which is small, I admit, it's the size of a 2-bedroom apartment, will provide a third place, neither private nor commercial and public, for the residents of this building to get to know each other a little bit or get out of their room in a place that you don't have to pay for coffee. Not that that's bad, you have to pay for coffee. But just provides a little more variety for the residents. So I'm generally supportive. Thank you.
Any further comments? Councilor Smith?
I'm in support of